We as Germans, we drink Coca-Cola, we eat at McDonald's, and we watch Hollywood movies, and we know how business works in North America.
Right.
And that's not the case. I always believed I said, you are not going out to make the first sale, no matter what. You are going out to make the second sale. You want to sell a product, you want the customer so happy that they come back to us and buy again from us. Funny thing is, I even met one of my former managers, and I told him, man, I hated you when I was working for you, and now I wish I had someone like you working for me.
Welcome to the Westbound podcast. My name is 𝗪𝗀𝘀𝘁𝗯𝘀, founder and managing director of the 𝗪𝗀𝘀 Group. Each month we bring you international business leaders to share their personal and professional journey in North America. Thank you for spending time with us, and now let's get to it. Welcome to the Westbound podcast, where we serve the European business community. I'm really excited to talk to Michael Ansorge today with OCULUS Surgical Incorporated. Interested to learn about his company, about how he ended up in the US, in Florida, to be more exact. So, Michael, welcome to the Westbound podcast.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming out. I think you flew in yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From Palm Beach to Atlanta.
Okay, very good. And I think you have the distinct honor of this being our first morning podcast. Usually we record them in the afternoon after lunch. So I feel really good only having had a cup of coffee and a clear mind and not... grain brain from some Italian food in our recording. So, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. So I'm very excited to learn a little bit more about you personally. Well, tell us a little bit about you. Where do you currently reside? And then we'll go all the way back. How did you kind of start in Germany, and how did you make it to the US?
I'm the CEO of OCULUS Surgical in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So I live in an area which is called the Treasure Coast. And for me, I always call it's paradise. I'm working and I'm living where other people come and do vacations. The company OCULUS, we are in the medical field. So we do quite some amazing things. I'm sure we talk about that later on. And yeah, I have a long story behind how I ended up in Florida.
Very cool. Yeah, Florida. So Port St. Lucie for some of our international listeners. Fort Lauderdale area, is that right?
It's 45 minutes north of West Palm Beach.
Of West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So from my house to Palm Beach Airport, it's 50 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, from the company, it's 40. So
okay, yeah.
I would say it's as far as from here to the Atlanta airport.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, very nice. And that's the Atlantic coast and the east side of Florida.
Yes.
Kind of in the middle of Florida. And if you look at the coast, right, kind of.
Yeah, we are right in between Orlando and Miami, I would say.
Yeah.
So if you drive from Orlando through Miami, you usually go east towards Cape Canaveral, and then you go down 95. 95 is the highway which goes up to New York.
Yeah.
And we are right in between. So I have like an hour 45 minute to Orlando.
Yeah.
And 45 minutes like to West Palm Beach. And from West Palm Beach, it's like one city. It's Boca Raton, and then Fort Lauderdale, and then Miami. But you cannot really tell that there's any green area in between, or where one city stops and the other one starts. Of course, if you would ask the people down there, they know exactly where it ends. But for me, it's like West Palm Beach, and then it's one city down to Miami.
Yeah, excellent. Very good. And that's about, an hour and a half flight to Atlanta? Probably.
Yeah, 1:45. I think yesterday we had a little detour, but 1:45 is usually so.
Excellent, yeah. And then so this is where we currently are, beautiful area. I'm actually looking forward to going on vacation in Florida later in July. So. And then where are you from in Germany?
In Germany, I'm from Siegen, from the Siegerland. It's 45 minutes west of Cologne and about an hour and 45 minutes north of Frankfurt.
Oh, Frankfurt, okay.
So right in the heart of the old West Germany.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and tell us a little bit about how your professional path, how you started there, how everything came to be for you to be here.
Well, I started my professional career as an electrician. I made an apprenticeship at a German company. The company is called 𝗪𝗀𝘀𝘁𝗀𝗪. Very, very interesting company. 𝗪𝗪𝘀𝘀𝘁𝗀 was an company which came out of Wadrich-Siegen. Wadrich-Siegen is a very well-known machine tool builder. 𝗪𝗶𝘀𝗁𝘀 was company, they invented the cable carriers for machines. And it was separated from Wadrich back in the day. Family owned and operated by the daughter of one of those Wadrich family members. And I did my apprenticeship there. And then when I was done with it, I started and did my electrical engineering degree, staatlich geprüfter Techniker in German. And did that for another 4 years, and I was 24, and I said like, okay, I went to my HR manager at that point. I said like, hey, I'm having now a great certification, I want to have a good job and so on. And they said, okay, we have something for you, can calculate cables in a cable carrier. And I said like, okay, I'm 24, that's an interesting job, but probably not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I decided to make a hard cut. I always was fascinated what those mechanical engineers did at this company. And I always thought like, yeah, it's a great way if you have electrical experience and then mechanical experience. I said like, okay, I'm doing a mechanical engineering degree. Then I wanted to do on the evening school, on top of that, a business administration degree. I said like, Then I found what's called in German Wirtschaftsingenieur Studiengang. I think it's industrial engineering in the US.
Yeah, mixes the two, right?
Yeah, mixes the two. And I thought like, wow, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
When I started there, I was 25 then, at the university, and it was in this time where Germany switched from diploma to bachelor and master. And I said, for me, wow, bachelor is really the greatest thing ever, because I'm 3 years at the university, I have a university degree, and then I'm 28, I'm not too old. And less than 2 months at the university, I was the first one who took the loophole and decided to switch back to diploma, which was 4.5 years, 9 months of study time at the university, and I made my diploma degree, which was 1 semester shorter than the master, but 1.5 longer than planned. At that point, I was never really outside of of Germany.
Of Germany, yeah.
I've never taken a flight.
Yeah.
My first flight was when I was 27.
Yeah. We have that in common. I think my first ever flight was when I was 21, and it was to LA.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'd never, it was just because I wasn't really, I was never one of the, I mean, you've had them probably in your youth as well. There were some people that were very interested in the US or even Germany. I was not like that at all. Yeah. And then I ended up, here. Been here 20 years. Yeah. So we have that in common. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took my first flight for an English course in England, and then I did another one in Canada. And I wanted to go to San Diego for an English course.
Understandable.
Yeah. Sad that I couldn't, but it was still great in Toronto, because I remember when I looked out of the plane first time in North America, I saw house with pool, house with pool, house with pool. And you don't see that in Germany, even though Toronto is as south as Munich is. And I was just very impressed from the North American culture, and I liked it a lot. Then I continued, finished my degree, got a very nice job offer from a very well-known German machine tool company.
Was this already with you having in mind, I might want to go to North America and they may allow me to go there?
No.
Or? Okay.
No, this was... it wasn't really at the plan for that time. What I did, I just looked at other people's career paths, what have they done to be successful, and instead of reinventing the wheel, I pretty much copied it. Yep. I saw, for example, at the company where I did my apprenticeship, they hired a CEO, and the CEO was a person, he was in Hong Kong, running a small office in Hong Kong, but made a tremendous impact and growth and so far and so on. And seems like he was qualified for the job, and I think he did a good job. And I said, okay, it seems like this is something you have to do. You have to do a university degree, and you need foreign experience. So I went to the smaller family-owned company instead of the big company, because my philosophy is a little bit rather be a big gear in a small gearbox instead of a small gear in a big gearbox. And it feels like you are more in the spotlight. You can more show the performance you bring to the table as in a big organization where that's kind of more hidden, I would say. So I did that, traveled all over the world, India, China, Asia in general. Russia, back in the day, was still business for us. Also North America. And so
was this in a sales function or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sales for CNC machines. And at some point, I was traveling just so much that I said, okay, I have spent significantly time on the airplane and in hotels. I stayed in China, Shanghai for an extended period for a very important project, and I made the first sale in China, which was a key market for us. And then I said, okay, I think I'm ready for also taking the responsibility for some nicer parts of the world, in brackets nicer, like North America. And I tried to build the business here in North America, remotely from Germany, which was quite difficult. And then it turned out we decided, okay, there's a company to be purchased, and there will be positioning opening for me. And we needed someone here in the US from a technical and sales perspective. And I came to the US for originally planned a year with an extension of 2 years. And how it goes, I met my wife, my girlfriend back in the day, which is now my wife and mother of our 2 children. And I decided to stay.
And you decided to stay. That's awesome. So, and your first stop was Virginia, is that correct? Or no?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We were in the negotiations with a company in Napoleon, Ohio. And then later on, we bought a company in Roanoke, Virginia, where I moved then to Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay, very interesting. And so you had, I guess you had some extensive travel to the US before, kind of getting to know everything. And then, so you got exposed to the Midwest, and then Virginia, would that already be the Southeast, or do we still kind of, it's right on the brink, right?
Yeah, I would say so. It's right at the border. But,
okay, excellent, very good. Yeah. And so you were there in a sales role as well, right?
Yeah, sales director. I oversaw the North American sales for the company.
Yeah, very good. What were some of your first impressions, like coming to the US? Like, do you remember some of that time? Like,
yeah.
I
mean, I told you already about the pools. The complete different lifestyle here in the US. And I always say that we as Germans, we drink Coca-Cola, we eat at McDonald's, and we watch Hollywood movies, and we know how business works in North America.
Right.
And that's not the case.
True.
It's simply not.
Yeah.
So I remember things where I was in negotiations for big investments, and usually we had payment terms like 10% down payment and milestone payment, and then final acceptance payment, and so far and so on. And our customer here in the US, they're like, you don't do that. We pay you 100% right now, and you make it. That's like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes business a lot easier for a medium-sized company from a cash flow perspective.
Yeah, I think that gets underestimated actually a lot. I think if you have a product that is needed, wanted, at a decent price point, or you're like the price leader, but you have really excellent quality, right? I think the US customers is very happy to pay for it,
right?
And won't negotiate too much, and just kind of go for it, you know, and no gimmicks like Skonto or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And made in Germany is really something which I think is pulling a lot of attraction to companies here in the United States. It's something where they still can rely on.
Yeah. Is that something that you see with your current, and we'll get there later, but with your in regards to this topic, do you think that's still Pulse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that something you use as a slogan in your current business?
No, I don't, because we produce here in the United States.
Yeah.
But for me, running a company here in North America, even when I was in sales, I never complained too much. Hey, we are too expensive. That was for me not the driving factor. You can discuss over cars. Yes, a Mercedes is more expensive than a VW, but it's cheaper than a Bugatti or so on. So you have to find the right customer. For someone who buys a Bugatti might not be expensive.
Exactly.
So, but what is the sweet spot where you want to be at a company? And for me, it always fits to companies where we have very, very good products. I would not like to stand behind a company where I don't believe in the product. So the product we have is, and I say that very proud, the best product you can buy. It's also on the upper end of the price range, but you pay for the quality. And especially in the business where we're in, you cannot make a failure in a surgery. Our equipment has to work. This is
like probably the best transition we've ever had on this podcast. So tell us about Oculus and your products.
Yeah, so Oculus is, I always describe it as a company we make wonder happen. We are in the medical device industry. We have different branches in Oculus, in the group of companies which we are. We have a diagnostic division. They are located in Seattle, Washington. They do diagnostic machines where they scan your eyes. You sit in front of one of those machines and you see a balloon or something, and then it's blurry, and the machine makes all kinds of tests, or you have those black and white rings. Usually everyone knows one of those machines when you go to the eye doctor, because it's used for the eye exams. So that's the diagnostic division which we have. We have the surgical division where I'm responsible for. We do surgical equipment for retina surgeries. Retina is, of course, the back side of the eye. It's like a niche, I would say. And like I would say, every German company is somewhere in a niche, but in this niche really good. We do it very similar.
Absolutely.
So we maintain vision for patients which are out everywhere. So diabetes is a huge driver for retina diseases which you can get, and our lifestyle is obviously not the most healthy one. So we develop the equipment which you need to make the surgeries for the eyes. We have another division in Denver, Colorado. That's really where I personally have an advantage from. We make specialized contact lenses, individually fitted. Think about that like you can buy a pair of shoes from Nike or from Adidas, and maybe a Nike shoe fits better than an Adidas shoe. Or you can buy a custom-made shoe which fits exactly to your eyes. So we make custom-made contact lenses, and if you see old pictures of me, you would see me with glasses. And now I'm using one of those contact lenses. I put them in at night. I sleep with them. In the morning, I take them out, and I can see all day long clear with no vision correction, no contact lenses, no glasses.
Wow, that's fantastic. So that's so it literally adjusts your eyes during the night, and then you have no need of. Okay, and then it's this. So you wear it then every night, like you have it. But the advantage is you don't have it during the day, right? You go to the beach, you don't have sand.
And it's fully reversible. So if in 10 years something better comes out, I just stop it and I say, okay, and I take a new type of lens or whatever technology is there around in 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know.
Wow. Have you noticed it impacting your sleep or anything like that? It's just completely no side effects?
When you put the contact lens in, it's like you cannot really tell it because it's so comfortable, because it's exactly made for your eyes. I was wearing soft contact lenses before, so this one is a really hard contact lens. I was wearing the soft contact lenses before, and when you go in Florida to the beach, a wave comes and washes out of your eyes, or it just gets over the day, it gets more dry and uncomfortable. That's not the case because you wear them at night, and during the day you don't have that. And the cornea, the front side of the eye, is I always describe it. It's harder than skin, but softer than a fingernail.
Okay.
And it memorizes the shape. So what we do, we push the prescription you have in the cornea, and then it stays on it. But I'm not a doctor. But I just wanted to make that clear.
Sure.
It's just when I tell people about that and the other things we do, like we have special type of compound for really heavy accidents where, I don't know, a saw blade or something cut in your eyes, really bad stuff. Then we have a special type of compound which you can put on the eye, and then we take the shape of that, we make a special type of lens for that, and then people have a cornea back pretty much and maintain sort of their vision. So it's really specialized stuff.
That truly is making wonders happen, as you said earlier. Yeah.
Right.
So when you have, back to that, the one that you wear at night and you don't need it during the day. So you'd go to your eye doctor, and then they scan your profile of your, and then you guys custom make that particular.
We use one of our machines that makes like a topographical map of your eye, and then the doctor has a special software. They can design the lens, and then it comes on a specialized lace, and this lace is cutting the lens. And then the doctor is disposing that together with you. It's a little process.
And so from a business aspect, it's interesting because you were able to sell the machine and then the disposable, right, the lens?
It's not really a disposable. It's a hard lens. And,
so you just use the same one every night? Okay, yes. Okay, yeah.
No, but we are more in the business of having the machine who can detect all what you need, cutting the lens later on, and the doctor is the one who get paid for it and is doing all the hard work for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting.
We just offer the technology for that.
Yeah, fantastic. What a great product. I mean, that's really, you come from sales, nothing is more important than being able to stand behind your product to sell it. So that's really great. How big is the organization in the US? Like, tell us a bit about how many.
So we have a group of companies. In total, I want to say we are over 10 companies. So I'm since 7 years with Oculus, and on average, we purchase one company a year.
Okay.
Doesn't mean every year we buy one company. In some years we buy more, in other years we buy less. But on average, it is funny, we really buy 1 year a company. And total, I want to say we have, I would say around 120, 130 employees over all entities. I'm responsible for all finances of the complete group. We have, we call it shared services, where we have a financial team. We're being responsible for all locations in the United States. Accounts payable, accounts receivable is pretty much in every business the same.
Yep.
We have other shared services where IT or something. IT is handled by a colleague of mine. Where he is responsible for all IT in North America, and I just use him as an sub-supplier, as an external vendor, and they provide me the service for IT, and I provide the service for finance.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, very streamlined way of going about things and eliminating redundancy, so to say. On the acquisition side, you mentioned you're quite active on this. Is this a very strategic goal where there's just excess funds and you guys want to deploy the capital? Does this usually kind of come to you? We're like, hey, this really kind of makes sense to acquire this? Like, what's the strategy behind that?
I would say we don't have really a strategy that we have to buy a company every year. So what always comes around our desk is opportunities. And those opportunities, they will be discussed. The ownership is very active in the business, and we and my colleagues all over the world, we bring those opportunities to his desk. We stand behind it. We say, okay, this and this could be the future, and shall we buy this company or do a strategic partnership or something or not? And that's how it goes for us. We always find companies which are complementary to our products, which extend our product range. From a manufacturing standpoint, we have a very deep manufacturing cycle. It's pretty much the nature of the beast.
How so?
We could rely on our sub-supplier a lot, but due to the fact that we have very, very high quality standards.
Okay.
Like I mentioned before.
Better to do it yourself.
Not necessarily, but imagine it from our supplier side. You have a customer which is not ordering a lot.
Yeah.
We are not the automotive industry or
Right.
something where thousands and millions of parts are produced, but we have higher demands than them. And that makes it difficult because as a supplier, you spend a lot of time getting the quality, but then the amount is not really so high.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes us like, yeah, we like to do business with you, but it's always so difficult because your demands are so high. And we are also, I mean, we don't have a monopoly that we can dictate the price and raise it unlimited less. But that brings us to the point here, you know what? We bring this stuff in-house. We probably would be a C customer for our suppliers, and we bring this stuff in-house and we control it ourselves. We know what we can. We know where the borders is. We believe in short ways between sales, engineering, manufacturing, and so far and so on. And we have all of that in Port St. Lucie. It's literally 50 yards away that you are from one department to the other one. And we are very quick with product development and challenges you have in production and so far and so on. One of the strategies of our company is, and I really appreciate that, is we produce where we make business. So if we make business in the United States, we produce here. If we are making business in Europe, we produce in Europe. If we are making business in Africa, we produce in Africa. And we are not shifting production or anything to, in brackets, low-cost countries and then still try to maintain high prices and qualities here.
Yeah, so that means that with you're manufacturing then here, and my colleague Stefan actually just went to visit you in Port St. Lucie and came back and said, you won't believe what they built there. It looks really nice. You guys did just build a new facility, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That was a very, very big project for me over the last few years. We built a 75,000 square foot facility with absolutely top-notch equipment inside. We have some very, very efficient AC units. We do this for two reasons. Number one, wasting energy is never good, but with wasting energy, you also waste resources, and that's financial resources. So we do business not in a way to hit the next quarterly number. We are doing business to make the next 10 years, which is also really great. I go to my sales guys. That's something I always believed in. I said, like, you are not going out to make the first sale, no matter what. You are going out to make the second sale. We want to sell a product. We want the customer so happy that they come back to us and buy again from us. Company is 130 years old, and that's the only way how you can stay in business so long.
Absolutely. In a complete contrast to the quarterly driven nature of many public organizations, right? That's really the big power of Mittelstand, I believe, that if you make the right decisions, over time, and, it's interesting. It's also not for everybody, like there's some people that really function well in that, other people don't. Okay. So, do you manufacture the machines here, or?
Kind of. I mean, we have injection molding machines. You can buy them from suppliers all over the world.
All of them.
Yes. You can buy those. We have in our German headquarters, we have an own mold shop where we can produce our own molds, but we also have US suppliers which can produce the molds here. And the machine itself is producing the parts, but then the secondary operation, the manufacturing, the packaging, the degating, whatever it might be, all of those are usually custom-made machines for us, which we develop here. We have good automation team on staff, and if we have two large projects, we outsource that. We have a good contact there. And we build this stuff for our needs.
Fantastic. So does that mean that you are not that heavily impacted by the tariff discussion that's going on right now? Or are there parts that...
Interesting question. Great question. I mean,
this whole year has been very interesting for all of us, I think.
I mean, it's always a challenge. COVID was also very interesting for us. I would like to talk about that later on
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
But the tariffs is for us very interesting from a point of, yes, we have US production. We cannot produce everything in the US. We are right now in the middle of a move, so timing is quite difficult for us at the moment because production had to move from our old facility to the new facility. Plus, now we have this tariff discussion. We can shift some of the production from Germany to the United States, but I'm also responsible for Canada and all the way to Middle and South America.
Okay.
So if I move the production over, well, I can do that, but then it just only makes sense if we have tariffs that I would give up Canada and the everything south of the US border.
Right. So you do that directly from Germany.
Yeah, because otherwise we would pay import tariffs. We are not in a free trade zone. We would pay import tariffs and then export tariffs and retaliation tariffs and whatever there might be in the future.
Yeah.
So yes, we are impacted for sure. How big the impact is, time will tell.
It's hard to say. I mean, things getting paused and started and paused and started. I think actually as we speak, 𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗀𝘁, our new chancellor, is in Washington meeting with Donald Trump. So we shall see, I guess, after this podcast.
Good meeting.
Yeah, exactly. That they, well, he can't act outside the European Union. So let's see how this all comes. Okay, interesting. And
one thing is for sure, if you need eye surgeries today, tomorrow, if there's a tariff or not, and you need eye surgeries, you will get eye surgery.
That's true.
We make sure that the customer get their product.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
that's the most important part. You kept you mentioned earlier about COVID that had an impact on your business. I'd be curious to hear.
COVID was very interesting. It was just 3 months after I took over the full responsibility of the US business in Port St. Lucie, and I was just ready to roll out plans. I was for over a year in the company as a general manager, preparing for things, and laid out plans what I wanted to do. And I gathered my team. I think it was beginning of March 2020 to, hey, this is our plan for the future. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to establish. Here in brackets are your marching orders. And I've very good colleagues in Germany. And Germany back in the day went first in lockdown. And I remember it as it was yesterday. I went back from this meeting. It was like, I do that usually once a year, that I take my leadership team. We go to a local hotel off campus, and we work on the business, not in the business, and really decouple from the day-to-day business and say, okay, how do we strategically grow this company? And I came back from there and I was like, hey, it went really well, and I'm rolling out the stuff which we discussed later today. And my colleague in Germany said, like, Michael, you are 2 weeks behind of us. We go in full lockdown. And this will come to the United States too.
Yeah.
I said, like, So I got the hint from my colleague, and I said, like, all right. So instead of rolling out my plan over the weekend, I worked on a plan how we could all transition, pretty much all, besides manufacturing, into home office. And what is the schedule for us? Who goes first? How do we set the IT up? And so far and so on. It was a tremendous amount of workload. And frankly, very honestly, I didn't really know what to do. Personally, for me, that was the third biggest crisis I have experienced in my life. The dot-com bubble, 1999, the new market collapse, I think in Germany. The housing crisis in 2007, and then COVID. And the retina surgeries were all of a sudden not essential surgeries. They are not life-threatening. Yeah. So if you lose your vision, you still can live. You're not dying, and they were all postponed. And it was like someone unplugged our fax machine, our email server was down. And
unbelievable.
We had no orders coming in. And I said, like, I don't know what to do. Everyone was in panic, and I said, like, okay, I gathered my complete team. I said, like, I don't know how it will go on, but it will go on. And like I said earlier, if you need eye surgery today, you will also need eye surgeries in 6 months. And I said, okay, our team in manufacturing, they are anyway full gorged up. It's a clean room manufacturing. So you are anyway protected from each other. You continue to produce. The team in the office, we have to do this here as a team. All guys, you exhaust your PTO time as much as possible. Then, if things continue to be bad, we kept everyone's salary to a certain level. I made sure that the lowest income people were not affected by that, but the higher paid employees, I told them it's not the time to buy your next boat or your third car or your next yacht or something. It's time that we all survive. And everyone in this organization was really like a team. Okay, we are in this together. And I said, if we do this, I make sure that we survive this as an organization. So we kept producing in our little warehouse, which we had back in the day. We stacked pallets. It was so unbelievable full. So unbelievable full. You couldn't really move around there. You really had to squeeze through pallets. And I offered our stuff has to be stored under AC, and I offered my personal garage. I said, like, if we run out of space, I park my cars outside, and you can put the stuff in my garage,
right?
Just that we have enough space.
Yeah.
And later on hindsight, sure, Michael, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But back in the day, no
one
one
knew
knew
what
that.
the future would hold. Yeah, no, I remember very clearly.
And I always said I did a better job than the CEO of United Delta and American, who furloughed all of their people, and then after COVID they couldn't find the crew back. We know what that for drama was. For me, everyone was there. I just had to ramp it up. When the business kicked back, it spiked. Our warehouse was full to the roof. And I was able to deliver.
Perfect.
So that was really, really, really a nice outcome.
Yeah.
And as sad as it is, it really created an awesome team.
So it's still benefiting from holding on to the people. Yes. Also something that you could really do when you work for, a privately owned company, that has people, that's the priority of the business, and then it paid back handsomely. So that's really good. How has the market developed since then? It peaked, and then because there was, I'm assuming there was this huge backlog of people that needed it, right?
Exactly.
So it really peaks, and then it kind of dropped back, and I was just maintaining. Yeah. How is that in general? Is this? I'm assuming it's a growing business, right? With more people needing these surgeries, health-related things, right?
Yeah. Worldwide, of course, we have more and more people every year on this planet. Which is good for the medical business. More and more people get access to medical treatments. For the Western civilization, I would say it's like, it's not good that we are eating so unhealthy.
There's a sad reason why it's a growing business, right? It's probably diabetes is on the rise, and then those things. Yeah.
But also we are just also getting just older, and that creates more issues.
Yeah.
So the market in general is growing. It's not a shrinking market. It's a growing market, and we always try to outpace the market with our growth.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the new kind of things in your industry? Like, is there what kind of trends are really hot right now, where everybody's like, okay, that's the next big thing in the eye surgery or eye? Yeah.
Well, good question. I always ask the same question to my customers. I asked our doctors, our surgeons, what do you think? How is treatment done in 100 years? And I would say the biggest long-term effect I see is with pharmaceuticals, that genetic therapy or whatever it might be in the future, that this could help preventing diseases. That is not necessarily bad for us, for our business, because it depends how you deploy the drug to the eye. Do you still have to go into the retina and deploy it? Everyone is talking about AI. I haven't seen the impact in the surgical business in AI. Robotics, yes, everything in the eye is getting smaller. So if you look back 10, 15, 20 years, way before my time in the industry, all the instruments you use to go in the eye were way bigger. So you had to make bigger cuts and so on. And
much less invasive than it was in the past.
yes, exactly. That's an general trend. So, and then when you look through a modern microscope, it's not just magnifying the picture. It also has like a jet and heads-up display where you have all kind of information. So I think that will be the future, that we see more, and probably even live information taken directly during the surgery and tells the surgeon where exactly you have to be. I mean, imagine that when our company was founded 1895, that was the same time when 𝗪𝗀𝘀𝘁𝗀𝘁 developed the X-rays. And how far has that become, that you have now live CTs or mobile CTs in the field and so far and so on. So maybe in the future, we don't need this big operating room anymore, and we can do that in different settings.
Okay, How is, I come here to the US, I've been here 20 years now, and things are different, right? Like a lot more things are being done elective, right? They are not prescribed, those kind of things. I have a lot of friends in my circle that, have had laser eye surgery, like in their early 30s, where it's like, really? Did you already need to take a laser to your eye? Is that more? How does the German market, or the European probably, compared to the North American market as far as like elective eye surgery and
Good question, because since I entered the industry in 2018, I'm in the US only. I went over obviously to important trade shows. I want to say on our side, it feels to me that we have a stronger legal system when things go wrong, that a surgeon gets sued. And even friends of mine who are doctors in an operating room, he said like, well, I'm getting sued every second week or so on. And he's always upset that the insurance company wants just to settle instead of fighting it, because he believes he didn't make a mistake and so far and so on. So I believe this is different in the US versus Germany, which also pushes people more to, okay, this is standard care, and this is the way we do it.
Right.
So you probably know it when you go to the dentist here.
I was about to say the dentist is like you're getting sold to all the time. It's like, hey, we can do this, we can do this. It's like they start hounding you down if you don't come for your 6-month cleaning, right?
Yeah.
And then
and then every time you go there, you get an X-ray.
True. Yeah.
So I think that's for me the biggest thing. What I personally see is like when I go to the dentist, every time X-ray, and I said like, well, stop it this year, make it next year.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's a standard of practice, and obviously if the dentist is not doing it, they would probably get in trouble if they oversee something. So it's more careful being done with some side effects. I would say.
So it's probably. Part of it is probably wanting to sell more, so true capitalism, and then the other part is tort law, getting sued, so liability and liability practice. Make sure, okay, I'm going to cover all my bases, so I can't get sued. So between the two, everything is also probably a little bit more expensive than it is in Germany. And it's not universal healthcare, so that's a big difference there as well. Very interesting. How big is your sales organization in the US?
We have around 10 people in the field. We have an inside sales team in Port St. Lucie in the office. That's just for the surgical business. We split it up pretty much where the people live. So usually where people live, that's where people need surgeries. We target the big teaching institutions first. So it's for us very important that people directly get trained on our equipment. We wanna have the next generation on surgeons going out in the field, and similar to what Google is doing. That, hey, have you searched the web? No, I have Googled it. So people saying like, hey, do you have a biome? A biome is a product we developed, and we were the first one developing it. We want the people to go out and ask, hey, do you have a biome?
Okay.
And that's our pitch in sales.
Like the Kleenex,
Kleenex, a Tempo.
Tempo.
You have a Coke.
Yeah,
soda.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to have it developed early, so people know your product. Not you're the market leader on that product, or category leader. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very very interesting story. The senior owner of our company, when he first developed this product, he was, and this is a true entrepreneurial story. The professor in Germany who came to him, he said, I have this product. It's a very, very special type of product in a very small niche, and there's only 100 surgeons worldwide where you can do this type of procedure. So whatever you develop, be aware there's only 100 units maximum which you can sell. And I think that's a great example what we are as a company. The senior owner said, hey, okay, you know what? I anyway do it. And right now we created the market because with our product, the surgery became so much easier that it was easier for more surgeons to learn. And right now, just in the United States, we have over 2,700 surgeons
that are able to do this.
That are able to do that.
Yeah.
So that is
so created your own market.
Yes, we created the market. I like to compare us to Apple. The company who told you need a mouse is also the company who told you don't need a mouse anymore because now you do it with touch.
Never heard that, but that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So we always have to reinvent ourselves, and we are a very innovative company.
Yeah. The mouse is actually really interesting. Sorry, now I got sidetracked, but did you know how the mouse came to be?
No.
This came from Xerox. Xerox had the copier machines. Mm-hmm. They used to have like this future lab, like where they were looking at new inventions. And that came out of there, I think, and then was taken on by Apple and kind of became the mouse. Yeah, now we don't need one anymore. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. It's interesting, and sometimes you have to break with your history and just reinvent yourself, your wheel, to make the future happen. If you don't do it, someone else will do it.
So it seems like there's a lot of emphasis on research and development, and constantly looking at how do we do things different within your organization.
For me, even in my career. You cannot force innovation. Yes, I can hire a team of hundreds and thousands of engineers and give them a playground to just do something. But really, this is not realistic in our industry. What my approach is I'm telling my team, the sales team is the eyes and the ears and the mouth of the organization. Mm-hmm. So if you hear someone saying like, I have a problem, or I wish I had, or something, then you need to be listening, in listening mode. And this problem, deliver it to our engineers. We have smart people in the office. They can think about that, and they can develop with the doctors new products, new procedures for the future. And that's the same way as I made my career. I remember it back in the day that I sold something where our engineering department, the first time when a customer asked me, hey, they want this and this, and the engineering department, oh, no, we don't do that. That was not at Oculus where I'm working. It was before that. And the second time when a customer asked me the same question, I just went ahead and I wrote it on the paper, and I said, like, well, I don't have any more information. I don't have pictures. We have to develop that. But this is a description how it will work, what you want. And I brought it back, and this is a typical sales thing. You have to sell it first to the customer. Right. Sometimes you have to sell it twice to the customer, first to a technical team, then to a commercial team. And then I came back with the order, and I had to sell it internally to my engineering team and tell them, hey, this and this. And I got in really trouble for that. So, how could you do that? You were in sales. You were not allowed to do that. And la-di. And then when the part was developed, and I really appreciated the senior developer came to me and tapped me on the back and said, like, Michael, this was a great thing that you did that. So, and
it's interesting with sales. And I mean, we're in recruiting, right? So we have a lot of, hire a lot of technical sales positions. And it's always interesting because on one hand, you want to have the salesperson that has the technical ability to see a true need in the future, bring it back to engineering, you know, and have potentially a new, like, market breaking or leading product, right?
Right.
And on the other hand, you have those other salespeople that are out there that are just trying to sell something, right? And they come with just a bunch of headaches for the engineering team, right? So, like, finding just the right person.
And it's risky. I mean,
it's a fine line between the two and them playing well together. Yeah.
But I think in that case, it helped me because from even though I was in sales and technical sales, from the background I had, building automation machines in my very first job, over the engineering or mechanical engineering degree, which I gathered at the university, I was able, might be difficult, but it's not impossible. So, and I always, another example which I like to use is, I think everyone knows Back to the Future, right? So everyone wants this hoverboard, this skateboard.
Everybody our generation does. If you were to ask my 15-year-old.
Right. But everyone wants to have this hoverboard, and I can make a great business plan that I can sell hoverboards for $1 million, and you know, I can occupy a whole team of people with that. But then at some point, it's the physics, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So I take that you probably go out with your salespeople quite a bit then too, right? Or
every now and then. Yeah. I like to be on the important shows where I have, from a timing perspective, a bigger impact that I can see a lot customers. Luckily, even in our region in Florida, we have really world-class surgeons not too far away in a driving distance, where I would like to go more often, but depends on the timing. But I like to go, and especially when we have new products, getting the feedback from the customer, that gives me a feel for how the product is accepted, how much do we really need to produce of that, and so forth and so on.
Was Ports and Lucie chosen because that is a pretty that is a market that's pretty cutting edge when it comes to like those kind of things, or not really?
I wouldn't say so. We took over a company in 2016, 2017, which was located in Stuart, Florida. Oculus had a distribution ship in Port St. Lucie, and we merged those two organizations together. But this company with all the employees were already there. And you know it, if you move an organization, you lose half the people, and if it's the wrong half, then you're having a really issue.
No, I was just thinking because, you know, like Miami, West Palm Beach, right? I mean, as far as elective surgery is concerned, that's probably pretty close to California, and that area is probably cutting edge.
Right. I mean, obviously, Florida is, from the demography, favorable to us because we have
a lot of retirees,
more old people. The sun is not doing great things for your eyes, so always wear sunglasses when you get out. Especially the ones with the.
There's all this stuff right now. I listen to these health people that say the first thing you should do in the mornings is actually get some sunlight for your circadian rhythm. You know, so and kind of look at the sun. You know, so I've been doing that, but then I'm like.
He's only with sunglasses.
Yeah, exactly. But like, be careful because you hurt your eyes, you know.
Yeah. So, but I think by coincidence, we have now a location in the very northwest, in Seattle, Washington, in the very southeast, in Florida, and we have another location added last year in Denver, Colorado. So we kind of cover everything. And like I said before, Port Miami, Port Canaveral, that's two great hubs for us also to distribute our products down to Middle and South America.
Fantastic, yeah. What's interesting about your Werdegang, about your career progression, exactly, is that, you know, you kind of came out of the technical side, then went into the technical sales side. I heard a lot of finance, almost like CFO type controls, you know, and now obviously in a CEO role as well, leading the entire organization and multiple organizations. So a very, very well-rounded profile on
Thank you.
It's interesting.
Funny thing is, when I finished my my apprenticeship when I was 20 or 19, the guy who was responsible for the apprentices, he never really did anything, and he said, like, "Hey, Mike, you just finished, and so you take care now of all the other ones." And I took care of with 19 of all the other apprentices, and without knowing what I did, all of a sudden they all accelerated in school and were really good in school. And I said, like, okay, interesting. Then I worked a lot in the CEO's office back in the day, and they had a really nice wooden table. I think very expensive, but someone had to install the outlets on the table, and no one wanted to do the job. So I was always the elected. Hey, Mikey, you're the youngest. Go and do this job. And I talked to this guy, and I found that so interesting. And I always said to myself, I want to be the CEO. I want to be the leader of the organization. And I saw the people in sales coming, obviously, with the customers to the organization, and driving the nice cars.
Yeah.
But also, I saw plenty of those people coming and going over the years.
Yeah.
And I said, like, wow, this is something I want to do. But I never disclosed that. I always said, like, I wanted to be the next step. So when I was an electrician, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. When I was an electrical engineer, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. When I was in sales, I wanted to be the sales director. When I was the sales director, I wanted to be the general manager, and so far and so on. So I always had this target of doing that. But I never disclosed it at the first day, because people would just say, you.
Yeah.
It was a lot of hard work. Colleagues always say, other CEOs, that's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on the way. But now I'm benefiting from it.
Yeah,
I like it. I
fantastic.
love it.
And another testament to the German apprenticeship model, we almost talk about it every podcast, like how you kind of, von der Pike auf is what we say in Germany. You kind of start at the bottom, you learn the business, you're exposed to a lot of different things. Yeah. And then you never know where it takes you, right? Like almost all of the CEOs that we work with, and we work with exclusively European organizations, they have had some form of, vocational training, and then kind of moved up from there, that's really great.
Yeah. But I always was also lucky in my career.
Sure.
I either was at the right time, at the right spot. I met the right people. I had the right managers. A funny thing is, I even met one of my former managers, and I told him, man, I hated you when I was working for you. And now I wish I had someone like you working for me, because you did so well as a manager. But he pushed me so far out of my comfort zone. I said, like, yeah, Michael, you know what? I always saw more in you. And I had the same thing with what he told me. When I started my career, I had someone, and he always pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And you see sometimes later on the impact people have on your career when you met them.
Yeah.
And,
you can't at the time, because it takes time to be able to see it, right? Yeah. Right. So, yeah, fantastic. I mean, this was a really great conversation. Super interesting to learn more about Oculus, to learn more about you. I really appreciate you coming. At the end of our podcast, we always kind of like to ask, how do people find you? People that might want to work for Oculus and continue working on this cutting edge products, right? Or want to get hold of you for other reasons. Like, how are you social? LinkedIn, I'm assuming.
Yeah, LinkedIn is I think the best source.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 𝗪𝗀𝘀 Ansorge. That's how it's found. We will link this in the description, so people can find you there. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, and everybody else, I would love for you guys to comment, give us ideas for new episodes. What do you want to hear? Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Thank you so much for listening.